Aloha, everyone. I am Angela Hilario, Miss World America Hawaii 2020. Thank you so much for tuning in, or if you're watching later, thank you for watching. Later, in a couple of seconds, I will be joined by Rosette, who is Miss World America Illinois. And I'm gonna see if she is here. Yes, she's here. Hey, girl. Um, how do I invite? What is this? What is this? There you go. Add. Think. Just 1 second.
Hey,
Hi.
can you?
No, I can't see you.
I don't know what's wrong. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. There we go.
Hey, hi.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you for going live with me. Yeah, because I've been watching your lives with Evan and with the other one that you did, and I was just so
Yeah.
inspired by your story. So I guess for all of us, could you quickly introduce yourself? Tell us about your background and your yeah.
Okay. I hope you can see me well. I've tried changing so many positions for like 2 weeks. It's been a gloomy weather this side, so
You look great.
hopefully. All right. Um, okay, so my name is Rosette Mamboleo. I am 24 years of age. I am a mentor, a teacher. I am a student, a law student. I am a volunteer community organizer here in Maywood. And I grew up an immigrant in South Africa. So we had to run away from Congo all the way to South Africa. And growing up there, the experience wasn't the best experience for me. And so through those experiences, that's how I was able to get the platform that I have now to be able to help other people going through the same experiences that I did.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I didn't know about because I think you mentioned that you also work with like people in under DACA and immigration.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's so awesome. Like personally, I'm a child of immigrants, so I
Hmm.
process. It's very
Yes.
can't imagine now with everything that's going on how people are
Hmm.
the delays in the process and stuff like that.
Yes.
So yeah, could you tell me a little bit more about your Beauty with a Purpose?
Okay, so my beauty with a purpose has to do with, if I should say, mental health, specifically on the suicide prevention part, as in every 5 minutes in a day, somebody commits suicide.
Mm.
That's 132 deaths per day. And in the whole year, we have 1.4 million people who attempt to commit suicide. And with those high rates, I can just imagine by the time we'll finish this whole life, 12 people would have killed themselves. If we had to go a whole hour, that would be 12 people already killing themselves, not attempting. So with such high rates, and myself as well going through my own experiences of reject and of hate, and not just hate towards people towards me, but me towards myself as well, as I never fit in a way due to my immigration status, due to my physical attributes. I always felt like an outsider. And all of that led me as well to attempting to taking my life in 2015. So from that experience, I've committed myself to try and make sure that other people do not have to go through those dark moments, or if they do go through those dark moments, that it does not lead to something that could take their lives. So we've committed ourselves with the organization that I work with, Coalition for Spiritual and Public Leadership, to give our communities mental health first aid trainings. We figured that if a person is going to kill themselves, at least have people who can know the warning signs that, okay, this person is probably having a mental health breakdown, or this person is going through something. And apart from that, as well as to try to encourage people to normalize this. In most African American communities, it's kind of like a taboo topic, where people see you differently. I know where I grew up in my community, we used to say that it's a white people illness. Like, you can't be depressed. white people are the ones who get depressed. You can't have anxiety and all those things. So people don't take it as seriously. So you can imagine going through an anxiety attack and your parents just thinking that, okay, you're just distracted, go and take a break or go rest and you'll be okay. Whereas it's something more than what it appears to them. So we've been trying to educate people. I think one thing that I really try to do with my platform is to build, educate, empower, train, and heal. No matter where I find myself, just generally. And with this platform, I'm hoping that we can be able to stop the rise of suicide in the different communities that we're in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing what you do. Like I feel like it's just so important, and it's interesting that you mentioned how, like the stigma in different communities. Like I think
Yes.
as in I can speak for on behalf of like the Asian community or like the Filipino community, it's still very
Mm-hmm.
like people would just say, why don't you just be happy, just be
Right.
that simple and
Mm-hmm. It's not. Yes.
exact. So
What about you? What's your platform about? I tried to read a little bit on it. I've seen Tim Tebow posted and Demi Lee as well, Night to Shine. And so when I saw you talked about disabilities and I went into your page and I'm like, oh, she's also doing the Tim Tebow stuff. I was really interested. So what led you into working with people with disabilities?
yeah, I think even though we have different platforms, I think our our passion comes from the same place in that we don't
Mm-hmm.
want to feel like they're alone or they're
Mm-hmm.
outsiders. So my journey started from when I was a psychology student in college and I had no idea what I wanted to do. And then a professor of mine recommended a book to me called Life Animated, and it's about autism who he could only communicate to his parents through Disney movies. And there's this
Mm-hmm. Oh wow.
never forget, and it's when the father is walking into his son's bedroom and he's
Mm-hmm.
and like just sitting alone on his bed and he's just in his own world, and
Mm-hmm.
that he realizes that even though he loves Owen so much and they give him so much love, also
Mm-hmm.
very much alone in his own world. And
Yes.
that like really broke my heart because I just, even though I don't I can't imagine what it's like to live in there
Mm-hmm.
with a disability, I just really connected to that pain of just being
Yeah.
feeling alone. And so that just started my journey as a special education teacher,
Wow.
and
Mm-hmm.
found out about Night to Shine. And it's, if you don't know, Night to Shine is an annual prom for children with disabilities and special
Mm-hmm.
celebrate them as the king and queens.
And they're always so happy. You guys do such a great job.
Such a fun event. Like they really have a blast just dance.
Mm-hmm.
I've I feel like none of them take breaks. Like they just want to dance the entire night, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
so much fun. And I also am part of Miss Amazing, which is a pageant for women with disabilities.
Oh,
So now
wow.
it is happening. I'm partnering with Best Buddies Hawaii and Gigi's Playhouse, and their whole
Mm-hmm.
virtual programming, so that even though we all have to social distance, we can still
Mm-hmm.
stay connected. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, like I feel like this whole our platforms with wanting people to realize that they're not alone, and they are seen, and they do matter, and their voice
Mm-hmm.
matter. And you mentioned
Yeah.
you train and educate. Like what does that look like how do you exactly go? Do you go to schools? Do you go to, I don't know, do people come to you?
Yes, so before the pandemic, people were coming to our offices. Due to the pandemic, it's a whole day training. So now we're trying to see how can we bring that virtually without kind of boring people down. Like
Hmm.
I know it's different when you're with surrounded with people, you can do a whole 8 hours straight or 9 hours straight of training. But when you're alone in front of your computer, it's like okay, the same thing again. So we're trying to look for ways to make sure that it's kind of interactive and that people can go through this virtually, wholly and fully. And then personally as well, when it comes to the educating part, is currently I am working on a website. And on that website, I am hoping to share people's stories on any kind of mental illness or mental breakdown they've had or experiences going through that. Just because I feel like sometimes when you go through a certain issue, you feel like you're alone and that people won't understand that your problem is the worst on earth. And I think that by sharing, someone else can read and say, hey, I've kind of went through that, or they can get maybe a little solution on how somebody was able to get back from a certain incident. And also on that same website, I'm hoping to have a wall app where people can be able to write down if they're going through anything, um, anonymously or with their names on, but just a way for us to be able to track this. Because it could be somebody in the comments, it could be you, it could be me, it could be anyone who might be going through something, and they just maybe feel embarrassed to talk to somebody in their family, or they don't trust anybody in their family to encourage them the way they want to. I'm trying to make sure that people have that safe space where they can say, hey, this is what I'm going through. And if it's something that is like life threatening, then at least we can be able to refer them to a specialist who can assist them. Not everything is always, if I should say, has a price tag. Some people think that to get the help that you need to be able to pay and all of that. So always looking for ways to be able to refer people to places they can go, get help, whether or not you have the money. But your health and your mental status comes first as well. So that's what we've been doing, and hopefully next month I'll start as well some trainings. But it might look a bit different, you know, due to the pandemic still. So everything might be virtual or like social distancing events. And on the same platform of educating, I am currently as well building a school in Congo. I'm hoping to be able to bring quality education to the community that I was exposed to that side. Um, it was, I mean, the current situation that I have right now is that they've kind of had a school, but they have sticks. So they have a replica of a school. They have the sticks up, and then their walls are made of newspapers and stuff. And so we're trying to see if we can be able to build that primary school, a normal school, and give the kids a playground. They don't have a playground. Clean toilets. They share one toilet. Staff members, all the kids, everybody shares one toilet. And so we're trying to see how we can be able to be of help for them. And so we've started a GoFundMe for that. Since we had the pandemic, we were unable to meet in person to fundraise. So we started a GoFundMe. Hopefully we'll be able to reach our goal and start with the building proceeds next year, June. Yep.
Wow, that's amazing. And is a like an elementary school or a high school? Like what ages does your school?
It's a primary school, so that would be grade 1 to grade 7. I think this side, grade 7, is middle school, if I'm not
Oh
mistaken. Yeah, so until then, yeah, that's what we're working with, the age ranges we're working with. And then our teachers are young girls who have no jobs, like the teenagers in the community who have no jobs. We found some of the girls already pregnant, single mothers, and things are kind of hard for them. And so that would be great to be able to give them a job that they can be able to provide for themselves and their families. So yeah.
wow, that's really amazing. That's I had no
Thank you.
doing a school. Yeah. So is there like a link for the GoFundMe page so that when people watch this they can go over?
There's a link in my bio. If somebody can go on my profile, you'll definitely find the link there as well. We're the first time when we started this, we're asking people just to drop in $5. If we can get 3,000 people pitching in $5, that is more than enough. So that was our whole aim. But certainly other people were more generous. So whatever you have will be much appreciated.
Yeah,
Thank you.
really great. So head over to her Instagram and check out her GoFundMe page. So I wanted to talk more about how, like, why pageants? Like, what ignited that interest in pageants?
Mhm. Oh, that's a nice question. I don't think I've ever asked myself that truthfully. I would say it's something that I've always watched it on TV growing up. You know, you watch it and you're like, oh my goodness, they look so beautiful. Oh my goodness, this is what's happening. And you're always watching on YouTube and here on Instagram, and that life has just always been, I should say, attractive in a way. But at the same time, it's also been that thing where you just dream of it, never thinking you can make it. So
Mm.
it's that thing of, oh, if I were maybe, I don't know, a size 6, I would be able to be on that stage. But you know what? It's okay. I'll cheer them from here, you know? Maybe my child will come out looking a bit different from me, and they will be able to join such pageants. And so it's always just been an interest. And this year, I think I've always waited for somebody to kind of represent curvy girls, or girls who are plus size, or girls who do not really fit into the same status quo of beauty of a pageant. And I just got tired of waiting. I'm like, you're still 25, you're 24, you're like, you have the opportunity, you have the thing, everything before you. So why are you waiting for someone else to represent? And I guess nobody else stepped up, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this. Let's see where it takes us. To try and make sure that it becomes a norm. That it's not that thing of, oh wow, look at them, they look so different. But it becomes that thing of, oh okay, it's just a beautiful girl. Let's see what she has to offer. And I think it kind of touched me more when I saw you posted certain comments you received from people who were kind of body shaming you, and I'm like, what the heck? If they think I think they called you pig and other stuff, and I'm like, wow. And this is a pageant world, and these are same people who say, hey, love yourself, hey, be true to who you are, but this is who I am. And when I show who I am, you don't accommodate it or receive it as well. So I think it kind of ignited it more in me, like, you know what, we're going to stay here and we're going to show those people who are not used to seeing such bodies that they need to be exposed to more of it. Because if you go outside, you're going to see people who look like Angela, you're going to see people who look like me. And so if the pageant world and the fashion world can kind of resemble what community members see every day, I think it would make it more easier for people who look like yourself and myself to walk down the street without feeling like, hey, I don't fit in, or hey, I can't do this and I can do that, and marginalize our careers and our self-worth by what people say and what people deem to be beautiful.
Yeah, I think that's like you just made a great point that you yourself as a little girl were watching like pageants, and then you didn't one who looked like you, so you thought yourself, oh, I can't really do that, or I need to change.
Yeah.
So I think if young girls now would watch pageants, they would see like, oh, this girl looks like me, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can
Yes.
do something greater than what's expected of me or what's already like labeled upon me. And I think
Totally.
representation is so important. And yeah, like when I received those comments, it wasn't really
Yes.
hurtful. It was more like, wow, people are still thinking this,
Right.
people are still like set in their minds. And
Mm-hmm.
I think like if we compare industries, like I think pageants still have a long way to go in terms of progression and representation.
Yes.
If we compare the film industry still has so much work to do in terms.
Yes.
I feel like it's a little bit more advanced pageants, and the fact,
Yes.
with Rihanna's Fenty Beauty line, and she's like, when I think as consumers and as supporters, we really need to voice like, this is what we want to see, and people respond.
Yes. Yes.
I think that's really great. That
But I would also say that in a way that for me, I guess my biggest hope is that it does not just end, maybe let's say when Rihanna stops her line, then everything ends. I hope that it goes beyond just the trend. It's kind of like in a trend right now. Oh, Black Lives Matter and Black is King, and everybody's saying Black is beautiful. I hope that 10 years from now, 20 years from now, when these things are no more hashtags, that in people's minds and hearts, they still believe that a person who's curvy, a person who's a bit bigger or different from what they expect as a model would still be worthy. That it wouldn't be like, oh, okay, that was a trend 10 years ago and we're done with that. What happens then? Because right now we're pumping people up. So what happens when the trend stops? Are we still going to refer to them as beautiful, or are we going to change and say, no, now the people with moles are beautiful, or I don't know, people with big eyes are beautiful, people with certain legs are beautiful. So I hope that it becomes more than just a trend. It's great that these people are doing this, that they're giving clothing to people who look like us and making us hey, we are attractive, we are beautiful, and all of that. But I hope that people take it to heart, that it's not just, hey, yeah, let's support, and you just go with the wind, and then yeah, that's it. Because
it's so interesting that you mentioned like trends, because I feel like it's only applied to women. Like women are trends, but like happening to men. We're like, oh,
Mhm.
their arms. Like, is this a trend?
Right?
So I was just wondering, like,
Yeah.
opinion on like women being portrayed in media and how does pageants contribute to that? Because as before, like before I even thought of pageants, I used to have this,
Mhm.
oh, pageants is just very like one type of girl, and they
Yeah.
this like the blonde hair, blue eyed, but like, and they like sort of like with these swimsuits, like they sort of
Mhm.
by women. But now that like pageants are like getting rid of swimsuit rounds, like do we start
Mhm.
objectifying women's physicality? And I don't
Yeah.
like that.
Mm, I would say that it's a great start, but it's not totally progress, simply because even just when I've been looking at the whole Black Lives Matter movement, you've seen so many companies come forward and say, "Hey, we're not going to be using this word anymore. Instead of this word, we're going to be using that word." And it's a great stand, but it's not the change we're looking for. It doesn't give us that concrete thing that calls change. I think what we've had in the beauty pageants is that they've said, hey, we welcome everybody from every size, but you're not crowning them. You're just allowing them to be there. You're not allowing them to win. You're not allowing them to take certain positions that allow them to be leaders. So in a way, we are talking, but we're not acting. We are saying, hey, you are worthy. Hey, we welcome you. We are inclusive, but you're not allowing me to win and to be that role model that people need. Like we just said right now, how many girls watch these pageants? And so if you have a role model who understands that my role as this role model is to be able to speak to other people. Because the truth is that people will look and they will say, if this person thinks it's normal to do this, then, oh, okay, I guess I can do it too. And so if Miss World America thinks that a curvy person is worthy to be a queen, then wow, I can also be a queen. Look at last year when Zoe won. How many other girls started feeling like, oh my goodness, like, other girls started feeling like I belong, like I'm powerful, I can also do it. So you can just imagine the kind of shift, the kind of movement we will have by crowning a person who looks totally different from what they perceive as beautiful. So
Exactly.
I think that the greatest change will start when they start allowing us in our communities and in the world to have role models that look like us, and not just look like us, but who kind of work thinking of us,
Mm,
who make products, who make movies, who make music thinking of us. Because the truth is that we're influenced by media. I'm influenced by the music I listen to. If I watch a music video and all I see is skinny girls, then I'm gonna say every hot guy out there or every hot girl out there, they all love skinny women. So where does that leave me? And what does that put in the young child growing up that, hey, you know what? At school they tell me I'm unique. My mom tells me I'm loved. My mom tells me I am special, but the world doesn't see that. The world isn't accommodating me like that. The world isn't if I should say representing me like that. So we kind of leave everybody else out. And so only these people feel loved and powerful and beautiful. And then these people are like, okay, what happens to us?
mm-hmm.
And I think that's what happened to me as well. I started living a life where I was hiding because I was like, okay, no, this body's not good. I started wearing baggy clothes. I wouldn't look myself in the mirror as much because you don't see it. What the world tells you and what you see is like, nah, it doesn't match. So if you can't get there, then why not just kill yourself? Why not just end with your life and say, you know what, we're done. Like it's not happening. So to answer your question today, I actually brought some preps to kind of help us understand a bit. Because I was thinking of our conversation a lot, and something came up yesterday. I was reading, and um, you are the light. I think so many of us usually say, hey, you're the light, or your light is really shining bright, and all of that. And I wanted to use that to kind of make us understand beauty or body shapes and what it has to do with purpose. Okay, so we're going to be using a phone. Let me see. And the torchlight. Yes, you can see that. So this is going to be, you are the light. And we're going to use these glasses to personify people, right? So what many of us do is that we have this light, but we tend to shut it off.
Mm.
So it will be maybe because of what people are saying, because of what you believe of yourself and everything. And you're like, you know what? Nah, it's okay, I won't get to that business. Nah, it's okay, I won't go to that party, or I won't go to this social gathering, because you're like, no, this light is not welcome, this light is not seen, this light maybe is not accommodated. And so we hide it on ourselves. As much as other people try to hide it, the biggest, if I should say, the saddest thing is for you to hide it yourself, to hide your own light, to cover it on your own. A light is not meant to be hidden. When you put up a light, it's because you need guidance, you need to know what is happening around you, you need to see what is hidden. And so your light is meant to shine so that you can be able to bring knowledge to things that are not known, or you can be able to bring clarity to people you meet, and all of that. That all has to do with purpose. And so if we take a glass, then we say that this is a person and this is the light. And I don't know if you guys can see, but it's shining, right? And that this is the type of glass that we have, and this is how it shines. And then we have another person who comes up and says, hey, this is Angela, and when we give her light, this is how she shines. I know it doesn't show as great, but okay, this is how she shines. And then maybe we have Rosette who comes up, and she's black here, and maybe this is how she would shine. So if we come up and we say that, hey, maybe the world says that this kind of beauty is not welcomed, or this kind of beauty is not needed, that's you in turn telling this cup to become this glass. Whereas you were made to be this cup. You were made to shine with every hole that it has, and the pinkness and everything. That's who you were made. And when you start to try and be someone else, you then in turn break yourself, but not just break yourself, but you do not leave the purpose and the reason why you were born on earth. And then to finish it off is the puzzles. I love puzzles. I don't know about other people. So we know these ends, and we know that these ones are in the middle. So another way I wanted to kind of explain this was that just imagine your life as a puzzle, and maybe you're meant to be the one on the corner. And when you try to change yourself, or you try to tell yourself that you are not worthy, you're trying to be someone else, whereas you've always been brought in the world to be this. And so there you are, trying and fighting so hard to be in the middle, whereas you've been made to be in the corner. You've been made maybe to be a pillar. You've been made to be a strength. You've been made to be this. And these people in the middle, they've been made maybe to be the core, to hold everything together. We need these two to work together, not against each other, or not trying to play the roles of one another. Because if you try to bring this end in the middle, it wouldn't fit. Apart from not fitting, it breaks itself, and it breaks people around it. And if you try to bring this one in the corner, it wouldn't fit, and it wouldn't be able to sustain the position it's been put in. It's the same with you. When you were brought into this world, you were not brought as a mistake. If you were a mistake, you would not exist. And I think when you start looking back in your life and you see that this is how I've always been, my body has always been like this, and I've been brought in this world, then you are meant to serve with that body. You are meant to serve with that life. You are meant to serve with the platform that you have. You are meant to serve in that school. If you're a doctor or anything, you have that light. Let that light shine in the body that you have, in the mind that you have, the eyes that you have, the words that you speak. Shine through. Don't try to be someone else, because it will not work. It would hurt you, but it also hurt people around you, because you either become fake, or you start hating this one and you start doing that, and it's like, this is not who you are. It's just not working out, and you're living a fake life. You're living a life of if I should say, you're becoming a copycat, or you're a photocopy. How sad is it that I have an original, but you don't know that you're the original, and you don't know how to treasure your original, and you're saying, I want to be that other one. It's like, hey, there's only one you. There will never be another you. These fingerprints are the only ones that you have, like, in the whole world. Apart from that, no matter how many years you live, there would never be an Angela who comes on this world. And so for you to say that this 1 in a billion is not enough, is not worthy, I want to be that one and become 2 in a million. Why not stand out? You were made to stand out. You were made to be unique. I think beauty is unique. Beauty can never look and feel the same way all the time. Beauty is unique. And we see that in people, the different type of people we have, the different personalities we have. All those things show you that beauty is unique. And uniqueness just tells you that it's meant to stand out. And if you have a light, let your light shine. Whether you are pink, white or black or anything, wherever you find yourself, shine in that light. Do not be ashamed to shine, to let your body be a prism that reflects that light shining forth.
Wow. I don't know about anyone else who's listening, but I feel like I just went to church. Like I was, wow, like there was like a science experiment with the light. That was amazing. Like thank you so much for sharing that. Like, and that's so true. Like when I look back at my childhood, like it was me who was holding myself back. Like I wouldn't go,
Mhm.
I like during the summer I wouldn't wear shorts because I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah, right.
like, and and you start comparing yourself to other people, and then it's just this whole cycle, and then at the end of the day you realize, well, no one really truly cares about
Mhm.
your insecurities because they
Mhm.
see it. People, like, if only we can see each other through the eyes of those who love us, because
Yes.
us they're
Wow.
perfect, you're like
Mhm.
all these things, you look like this, and you're beautiful
Mhm.
yourself, don't see that. And I just think that that's just so amazing, like your message and your platform and everything. Like I just want to like watch it back like as my my go-to like sleep, and
But I am really happy. You know, when we spoke last time and I started looking at your pictures, I'm like, yes, we have another girl who's here and who's trying to be different. I think we need more girls like you. We need more girls like me. We need so many of us just rallying up and standing up and saying, hey, this is how we are. This is who we are. Because you know, one thing I was thinking of so much was that it does, I think your body weight doesn't change anything when it comes to beauty, especially in this world, because they say it's beauty with a purpose. So if I'm curvy, I can still sit in a one-seater airplane. I was just thinking to myself, is it that they are afraid maybe they might pay two tickets, because of the seats? No, I fit in one chair. I'm able to walk. I'm able to run errands. I'm able to play with kids. I'm able to talk. If I'm able to do all of that, why would my body and how I look physically hinder you guys from having someone awesome represent you guys? There shouldn't be a reason. It doesn't make sense.
and the amount of hate that we have for our own bodies when it's our
Mm-hmm.
to live life. It's our through our bodies we get to volunteer, through our bodies we
Mm-hmm.
accomplish and go after our goals. Like we are, when even if we have a disability, like we're still,
Mm-hmm.
we still can connect with other people, and that's just like also like for me, like I'm always inspired by people who have like something holding them back, but they still
Mm-hmm.
move forward. They still use
Yeah.
what they have in order to inspire others. And
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, because you talk a lot about represent, like you want people in the African American community to feel represented. For me, I want the Filipino community, especially
Yes.
people who are thicker, because
Mm-hmm.
I will be very blunt. We
Yes.
They treasure a very, very specific type of beauty in terms
Wow.
of skin color, in terms of nose shape, in terms of body size. Everyone has a very specific idea of what a beauty
Mm-hmm.
community, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily fit any of those standards.
You just stand there like, okay.
Like which one does not belong?
Yeah.
I actually like had experiences through Philippine pageantry, and I see like
Oh.
stigma of like this girl, they don't even have gave me a chance to speak yet, and they're ready
Mm-hmm.
because they see me and my curves and everything.
Right? And they're like,
Why is she?
yes.
I want people, especially in the Asian community and the Philippines
Mm-hmm.
especially, to just recognize that you matter. You
Mm-hmm.
are supposed to be here. You are supposed to
Yeah.
this goal. If you think that you can do it, that is enough. You
Mm-hmm.
need is really permission from yourself to go after your goals. That is all you need, and that's
Mm-hmm.
in you. And if you're a person of faith, God is on your side. God is guiding you, and God made you. So I just think that through both of us, like I'm just so happy that Miss World and
Yeah.
us our state title, so that we have this platform to like,
Mm-hmm.
say to girls like, hey, if we could do it, you can do it and you can go even
Yeah.
and beyond.
Thank you. Especially beyond, like go beyond. I think they shouldn't stop where we stopped. Whether or not we win, yes, we try to leverage this opportunity and this platform, but go beyond, beyond, beyond as try to fight. I think if everybody can try to fight, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Ladies, we're very determined and we're very, if I should say, we stay true to what we start with, and so I'm hoping that we will be able to make it. Definitely.
I think, well, I just like talking with you right now, I'm just like, you have my vote. Like, forget about it. I want you all the way because I feel like you, because exactly what you said, that you not only represent women, but you have these women in mind, so that when you're talking, when you're speaking, you acknowledge the fact that, hey, I'm different, and like, I want to uplift other people, because I think there are some people who, yeah, they look different, but they don't really have that passion or that mission to.
Hmm.
And I think if you're in that position, you still need to have that acknowledgement, and to in order to make a change. So
Yeah.
I think that's, I'm so excited that
Thank you to everyone. I've seen like comments going up. I had to put my glasses on because I couldn't read them.
I think I saw one, someone said that, like, in terms of like when we're talking about men, there's like this trend, like, men need to be tall, dark, and handsome, and
Hmm.
men also have like these standards placed upon them, but
Yes.
the true difference between women and men, and the trials that they go to, is that people capitalize on women's pain. People capitalize,
Hmm.
they make money off of our
Off of, yes, that's so true. Yeah. I was about to say that as well. Like there is money. People are now, they can wake up and say, hey, curls are in fashion now. Whoa, that's it. Every girl is gonna want, oh, I wanna do that. They put it in music videos, they put it on TV, that's it. Money comes in, and there we are. All of us are gonna have curls, and tomorrow they'll say, no, this type of jeans, and that's it. Everybody's gonna have that. I think, yeah, that's so true. People capitalize on us more.
Yeah.
That
So
makes more
I
sense.
want to kind of shift the conversation a little bit and get to know you on a more, just an everyday type of girl. Like, so what do you do, like, when you're not busy on your Beauty with a Purpose projects and busy with the pageants? Like, what do you like to do, and what do you enjoy?
Oh, firstly, I enjoy being without makeup. I love being so simple. And I think you've seen that in the interviews that I've been having, is that even in my portfolio, I've been trying to be as simple as possible and relatable as possible. Um, you would find me watching movies. I love to watch movies so much. Apart from watching movies, I love to write. I write so much. Writing, you would find me either I'm taking a walk, a nice meditative walk, or I'm reading the Bible. I think I find so much inspiration from the Bible, and it helps when it comes to identity. Just being able to ground yourself. That comes from there for me. Um, and yeah, I think apart from that, my life is in a way work. I guess I don't see it as stressing or texting because I love it and I'm so passionate about it that I could be sitting and I'll be like, oh yeah, we can do this or I can think of that. And my head is always running. And so if I remember, I was once in a pageant in South Africa, and after the pageant, I kind of fell sick because I was so used to I was doing this and I was doing that, and then after that, my life kind of went to a halt, and I'm like, wait, there's nothing happening, and so I'm used to being so busy and occupied with this and that that if I have to stop for like a week without doing anything, it kind of harms me in a way. So I've been trying to make sure that while you work, get a break. So I take my breaks, especially after our deadlines for the 6th of September. I was so glad that Monday was a holiday because I couldn't move. I was just like, no. That was so much work. I just stayed in bed. I watched movies. Um, I love chocolates. I love chocolates. I love food. I'm not embarrassed to say it. I think so many girls feel like I can't say I love food. I love to eat. Who doesn't love food? We all eat food anyway. So I love food, and yeah, I'm always trying to learn something new. Currently, due to Miss World America, I'm trying to learn how to ride a bike, and it's not going so well. So I had to buy training wheels, and I have training wheels on my adult bikes. And my little niece was so excited. She's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna teach you how to ride a bike." I'm like, "Go for it." So it's I was trying to look for different ways to stay fit and healthy. So I'm like, okay, let's try the bike out. I've always been afraid of it, so yeah, I went for it. And yeah, I love to joke, I love to laugh, and it's so simple. There's nothing more. What about yourself?
I mean, that's just so interesting because I feel like everything you said, like we have so much in common. Like, I too ride a bike. A bike.
When are you learning?
So, no, but over the years, so many people have tried to teach me how to ride a bike, and it just never clicks for me. And people are,
I get you.
they use the as easy as riding a bike. I'm like, no, riding a bike is not.
It's not easy, right? I've tried it without the training wheels. It didn't work. I'm like, we need training wheels. With the training wheels, I'm like, yes, this is great. But I don't know what will happen if they have to take it out. I think I'll just be like, it's okay.
It's all right. You can just walk.
Yeah, we'll just walk. I've been walking, so yeah.
Yeah, but me too. Like I love watching movies as well, and I also love writing. I'm actually a writer.
I saw that.
Yeah,
And you have your own company.
yeah. I have my own media company where I publish books, and we're
Wow.
creating a movie, and we make podcasts, and that also ties in with my need or my mission to have more representation and more diversity because the stories
Mm,
and the authors that we represent
mm,
are underrepresented voices. So that's
mm.
another passion of mine. But I'm curious, like, what kind of stuff do you write? Do you write fiction, poetry?
I'm not very much. I use fiction maybe if I've been a bit hectic with school and everything. I usually use fiction to kind of take me out from the real world and go into another world that's just calming and not demanding. But when it comes to writing, I usually write realistic things. I know that this year I was working on a story. I've been trying to pen down my own story. But apart from that, I wrote a story for kids, and I was like, okay, just to see how we can be able to help kids with fear. I think so many of us have fears right now because we're not able to deal with it very well while growing up, and just to see how can we take out fear from kids, from people who live with fear and anxiety. So I've been writing about that, and apart from that, I write my emotions down. I write my goals. I have everything here prepared for you today. I have like my book here, and I have affirmations that I say every day that I write down. I'm like, okay, this is who you are. This is what you want to accomplish. And whenever anything gets hectic, I just take them back and I read it, and I'm like, this is who you are. Your situation doesn't define you. This is who you are. And another thing that I really love a lot is from goal setting is my vision board. I have a vision board, and every day it's right here on my door. I look at it, and when you want to do something, you just look at it and you say, hey, this is where you said you're going to get to. And the more you write down the small goals that will help you get to that big goal, the closer you get to your goals. And I think the easier life looks and the more fun you can have. Because if you're there stressing, saying, hey, my goal is too big, and this is just a lot, I can't make it, you're probably not. But if you write it down and say, hey, this is where we want to get to, and this is how we're going to get to where we want to get to, this small goal will add up with this small goal. It's like a puzzle. You put them all together and you're like, yeah, by the time you die, you're dancing to your grave like, God, we served you well. I'm ready to see you. So yeah, that's what I've been writing about.
Love it. I mean, if you ever think of publishing something, like I would be more than happy to help you.
I mean, I just found out. No, I thought you were only doing because I've been seeing you've been having the cast calls and everything. And I'm like, wait, there's books too? I'm going to give you a call.
Yeah, I would love to because I think what you stand for is exactly what I want to support with my company. My company is called Hollis House. Yeah, we do publish books. We do a lot of things. And I say,
guys, check them out. They're looking for Ben. They're casting for a gentleman. Ben, right?
yeah, we're looking. If you want to apply, go to my Instagram. But yeah, our film is called Quarantine Actually, and it's like a bunch of short films put together into one feature film about quarantine. So if you want to check that out when it comes out, you can also do that.
Yeah.
I am so excited. I feel like, I mean, what I love, and I especially see that in other girls in our group, I guess, is that even though we've never met physically, or we may never meet physically this year, for
Right?
we're still connecting, we're still
Yes,
like bonding and creating friendships. So I feel like this won't be the last time we'll be talking because
definitely not. I'm hoping to have kind of like a tour. I was telling myself this year that I wanted to visit all the 51 states, but due to the pandemic, I was not able to. So when things ease down a bit, definitely I'm coming your way. I want to be able to be there in person and see what you do.
yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna stay in touch, definitely.
Um, is there any questions from before we wrap up? I know we're like gonna cut off at like 1 hour, but
My sister was here. There she is. But I know she probably went to sleep. It's quite late in South Africa. And oh, Zandilia was here. Thank you guys so much.
hi, that's so cool that you're an English major. I just love meeting like other writers, and it's just
Yeah.
um but yeah, I think we can wrap it up now. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh, we have Emily, or
Hi,
another sister queen of ours. Emily's here.
hi, Emily. Yeah, and I can't read. I don't have my glasses, but
I didn't know you also wear glasses. So, oh, Yasmin, you're still here. Hey guys. Hi, Zandile. Do you guys have any questions? We're about to wrap up. So, thank you. Emily said, amazing job, ladies. Thank you so much, Emily.
yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. If I
Definitely. Thank you.
try to upload this to our pages so that you guys,
Yeah.
because I'm gonna watch your message over and over again. Like that really motivated me.
Thank you so much. And Nadine is here. I don't know if you guys have any. We love you guys too. Thank you so much. I don't know if anyone else. We're gonna try to figure out. Did you try to figure out how we can save it?
I think when it ends, there'll be like an option to like say.
Okay.
So I'll make sure to click that option.
This week was my first time on Instagram Live too, and I was like, okay, how do we do this? So,
My aunt is here. Hi, Tita Diane.
oh, hi.
Yeah. So yeah,
Thank you guys. Oh, okay. No questions from me. I enjoyed this. No question. I just want to say I'm proud of you guys. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
we should plug in
Thank you for tuning in.
the tickets for Miss World America. So the tickets for Miss World America are now available on their website. And if you purchase an all access pass, you'll be able
Yeah.
to see all of the events. And if you purchase a VIP pass, make sure to write down the girl that you are supporting as your referral or something like that. And then
Yeah.
that vote will go to the VIP
Point.
or something.
Mm-hmm.
So hi,
Definitely.
Z. I see.
See you. Hi.
Yeah, so
Hey, how are you? Okay, so we're actually wrapping up. Oh, and Shri joined.
I have I have a question for you. The one more question for
Okay.
10 minutes or so. So
Okay.
how are you feeling about October? Because it's like right around the corner. I woke up and it was like September already. I'm like, how did that happen? Feel about, all the events coming up.
Um, I think it's a totally different thing when you do something in person than when you do it by phone.
Mhm.
I've been counting down. I have like my calendar. I made a handmade calendar just to kind of relieve everything. And I think we have like 2 to 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks before October. October 1st, everything happens, right? And when I saw it yesterday, I was just like, nope. I closed down my phone. I'm like, I'm not looking at the schedule. I'm not looking at anything. It's too soon. It's too soon. But I think the great thing, though, as much as you don't want it to end and as much as you might be nervous and all of that, is that if you make the relationships that you need to, your friendship with these girls or my friendship with you guys, it doesn't end
Mhm.
after October 24th, after the crowning. I hope that it goes on. I've seen like there are so many pearls in our group. Ladies doing amazing, and you're working with disabilities. So there's a lot, and I'm just like, I want to work with all these people. So as much as I might say that I don't want it to end, it's gonna end, but I hope to make as much contact with you all to be able to work with you guys in the future. picture. So I guess I don't know how else to prepare. I feel like we gave it our all for September 6th, and we have interviews, and apart from interviews, it's just you did your I did my best and to have fun, to
Yeah.
enjoy it while it lasts. And yeah, how do you feel? How are you preparing for it? I don't know how to prepare for it, but how are you preparing for it?
Yeah. I think everything happened for September 6th, but I am trying to prepare more for the interview because I feel like when I was interviewed in the state pageants, I kind of like
Mhm.
on and on. I'm like, no one is stopping me, so I'm just gonna continue. And then,
And they just let you be, and
yeah,
they're like, oh.
and then talking. Okay, there for like the interview part. But other than that, like what you said, like just enjoy it. I think this is a very rare experience, and
Mhm.
I'm 26, so this might be my last pageant because
Oh,
I'm aging out. I'm getting old.
yes.
I want to enjoy it, and just really take everything in. Even though it's all virtual, I think
Mhm.
it's still a it's still going to be a really wonderful experience. So
Mhm.
excited,
Definitely.
and yeah, thank you so much for joining in. I'm definitely
Thank you. I had so much fun. I had so much fun.
uh,
Miss New Jersey says me too.
and if you missed the live, I will be posting it. I think we can both post it on our Instagram.
Yeah,
Please
definitely.
watch Rosette's sermon, her preaching, and her you will not be like, it's so worth it. So please watch this over again just for that part. Um, but yeah,
For every part, guys, for every part.
especially that part. Yeah, thank you so much, Rosette, for joining.
Thank you.
And
Take care of yourself. I hope we stay in touch. Definitely want to stay in touch with you. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Bye, guys. We love you guys. We're so grateful that you guys came here for a whole hour with us.
yeah, thank you. And aloha. We'll see you later.